And we're in. Okay, guys. So let's get this started. All right. So you're not seeing today's GIF yet. So yeah, that's today's GIF. So all right. So we're in the same place. Nothing changed. I introduced the class to the software, understand the relationship between mind, equipment, and software, describe goals of technical leader training, and practice. Hooray, nothing changed. Now, I wanted to, just in case, because I had a conversation with the bachelor students of the third year, and they were like, hey, we're confused about what is like the assignments that we need to do. We don't understand what the hell is going on. Today I have a meeting with the teachers of all the program. So if you want to tell me something, by the way, I have to talk to you about this like Lucy thing and like music theory. Yeah, we have like already an answer and everything. Like it's all we worked on this last week, and this week it all gets executed. If you want to say anything to the teachers, you open that shit, man. Don't worry, it doesn't bother me. Don't worry, bro. It's so cool. You know when you try to be less noisy, but it's like. So if you want to say something to the teachers, tell it to me before 4 p.m. because we're going to have a meeting at 4:30. You can write me a message like, I hate this teacher, whatever. Like, whatever. I don't know. Whatever you want, just talk to me, okay? But one of the things that the students of the third year told me is that, man, Google Classroom is just full of these like things, and we don't understand what gives points and what it doesn't give points. Yeah. So that's why I start my lecture today, just like to tell you all my lectures. And I'm going to push the teachers to do that. And if the teachers don't do that, I'm going to ask Masha to do that. So, and if Masha doesn't do that, I will ask, I don't know, who am I going to ask to do that? But you see, if you see my Google Classroom right now, you see that there's like formative 1, 2, 3. I did this last night, so maybe it's new. And then there is summative 1, 2, 3, 4. So at this point, you all should know what summative and formative is. And yeah, so at the moment, like all my courses now, they are kind of like work like this. If I make two summatives only, then each one is 50%, and that's it. If I make 4, for example, in Foundation right now, they have 8 summative so far. So each one is 16%, but for you guys, if so far you have 4, there's a new one that I put last night, so you had done 3 already. You have isolation of frequencies and your range. This was done like a long time ago. Some of you did it, some of you don't. There was a quiz. There was mixing only with the cues, and there was technical lead trainer. I'll be checking all this homework soon and give you all your grades before the semester ends for sure. But today we're going to start this thing that I'm calling flight time. So, in order for you to get a license, like to fly an airplane, like you need to fly X amount of hours. I'm going to give you flight time, which means the most boring homework I'm ever going to ask you to do is like you're going to have to record your screen doing the technical lead trainer. And I'm going to put it in different difficulties. So this is going to be the one band EQ mode, so the easy one. And you will have to record me 40 minutes of that. Like you can do it in separate sessions and then put the video together. You can cheat if you want. If you cheat, you're being a shit of a person, and that's your problem. I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't care. It's just like you're the one who suffers if you do that, not me. So the way I will check this homework is that I'm not, and actually I'm assuming that I'll explain this in the end, but I'm assuming that many of you will not be even able to record the audio. And that's okay, because recording the audio with the screen, maybe for some of you is easy, and you're telling me, what the fuck, you're in a diedushka, and this is so easy. Like, if you don't record the audio, I don't care. All what I want to see is, like, I want to skip, like, chick, and see, like, okay, I'm not going to sit down and watch 40-minute videos of each one of you, like, he made a mistake in the question number 3, like. The point is just to skip and see, okay, this 40 minutes happened, and I want you to send me a screenshot of the score that you got. And the score, it kind of like, it's not going to determine your score. If I see that everything is fine, it's like, look, there is a video, that was 40 minutes, I got the screenshots of the score, you get 100. All I want is a proof of practice. In SAE, they made us do 90 hours of this. Yes. And it was a whole first semester. It was like the first lecture was like, you have to do 90 hours of this. And then there was a website that you were logging in, and then all the time you were logged in the website, the thing was counting when you were doing the exercises, and that's how we did it. I'm not going to stop there. Then after you do this one, I'll add another one, like it would be 2 bands, and then I'll add another one in different level of difficulty, and then in the next semester, it's going to be like reverberation, compression, like we will do all of that, okay? So that's where we are. At the moment, we have 4 summatives, and each one is 25. soon a fifth one will be added, and then it will be 20 each, and like that. The reason why I chose this system is maybe radical, and some people have complained about it, because imagine right now, in all my lectures, in all the bachelors, each summative has the same value. It doesn't change, because the reason why I want to do this is like I want to give people this feeling, which is like you're in the bed and you're like, should I go to class of Leo today or not? It's like, oh shit, maybe he will give a summative that it's as valuable as as this other huge project. And if just because I didn't went to class, I missed that, and then I missed those points. So I kind of wanted to motivate you. You know that you can always deliver to me later. I'm the same guide, same principles. But I'm trying to motivate people, so I don't know if it's an experiment. If it doesn't work, I will stop doing it. If you think it's unfair, because you can also tell me why this thing is valued the same as the quiz. The quiz seems to be more important. I think that, you see, like I'm making the soundtrack for the film, and if the director of the film asked me to do a little task, and I fuck that little task up, I break my relationship with him, and so it's that little task is equally valuable as the 75 minutes of the thing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, just to push you to be consistent. Anyways, most likely, I don't know, I don't have good theory of this, it's just like my intuition. So anyways, we introduced the technical year trainer. You ladies were not here for a while, right? Or when was the last time you were here? You were here last week? So how are you in terms of like, are you kind of aware of what's happening, or you're lost? Yeah? Great. Yeah, there's a recap, so I mean, I'm not even going to go through a recap so much. It's just like you have the technical in trainer, and what we're talking about is to do a parametric equalization task. So that's what you're going to have to do today. Now, I just very quickly, for those of you who are online or whatever, if am I sharing the screen with you guys there online? Yes. In case anybody needs a recap, you can choose the type of practice, you can choose the frequency resolution, you can choose the number of bands. We're going to be working in one band. You can change what the system is doing, like either boosting or cutting or whatever. You can change the Q, like of how wide or narrow it is. You can see the frequency range. You can put a time limit. And then you will get the score here. So that's the screenshot that I want. So I, last week, discussed with you a summary of this playlist, and I put it back here because I don't know, sometimes maybe somebody just opens the latest presentation and it's like, what the hell is going on? Okay, this playlist is really useful if you want to catch up. It was in the previous presentation, nothing new. This we discussed it. Now I found this really cool thing, which is to put this up. No, it's not cool or exciting, but whatever. Like nowadays, I kind of like understood that when I'm gonna repeat something, I'm just gonna put the recap on there, so to help you orient yourself. If it says that, it means that we already seen it. So we discussed that if we match the frequency to vowel sounds, it's really cool, and we all liked it, and we got to this. Well, I don't know if you liked it, but I did. And if you make a summary of what we discussed, it's like the 63 hertz feels like a vibration in your belly, or like loud rumble from the neighbors. 125 hertz is like resonating on the chest, so it's more like belly chest. And we discussed 250 is oo or oo, like I don't know, Latin u or o. Or oo, sorry, as food. You should see it like Anglo-Saxonly. 500 is kind of oh or oh, more like oh, something like that. Like aha, 1000, like let, or you will see in today's new version, this is accompanied with a like in a minute you're gonna see what I mean, because it's kind of when you say let, you know, there is a little in that let, like let, something like that. E as beat or beat, S as sand, and C as tsunami. Like we stop. That's what kind of what we discussed. When we're trying to identify 16 kilohertz, it's like tss. When you're trying to identify 8 kilohertz, like tss. When we're trying to identify 4,000 hertz, it's like right, like peat. If you isolate that E, like I. If we're trying to identify 2,000 hertz, it's more like let. You know, if you're trying to isolate 1,000, it's more like aha. 500, oh. 250, ooh, like ooh, and it has that really like concise note feeling. 1,500 chest, 63 hertz body. Great. So now let's move a bit deeper and try to identify the third of the octave. So what happens in between those octaves? Of course, I mean, not going to claim to you that I cannot identify this so great as maybe some experts or something. I'm not an expert on the matter, but I'm giving you a kind of like a direction or an idea on how to achieve that if you practice a lot. So, but for that, we're going to use the anchors. This is really cool, actually. It's really cool technique. It's very short, to the point lecture today, but it's really cool technique. And we close this technical ear training conversation. Really clever. We're going to use the anchor that we discussed last week. So it's like, all right, we have, this purpley things that you see there are the same things that you just saw. Like I prepared it like this on purpose, which is like, okay, 250 is like, ooh, that's in foot, but what about 315? What about 400, 630, 800? This is repeated by accident, sorry, 1,250, 1,600, 2K, 3.15, 5 kilohertz, 6.3, 10, and 12. So we can, I guess, just create or add a new vowel there or a new thing that it's just totally different to our scheme. We have agreed on a scheme, you know, it sounds like Jack Korean or something or whatever. But we have agreed on all of this scheme already, so why can't we work with this scheme? So obviously, this guy that we have been seeing last week has this really great visualizations, like I told you, and it's really well geared up, so it's really nice. So I'm going to listen to what he did, and then I'll give you the summary of everything next. So we will be watching this video for a bit because it's the easiest way to move on and the fastest way to move on.
After a bit of practice with these octave frequencies, we'll be able to move a little deeper and listen for the third octave frequencies between them. To do this, we'll utilize the same reference points we've created for the octave frequency. We have already established
so yeah, we are now like here. You see, we have 250 hertz and 500. So 250 hertz, we said is like food, like this, and 500 hertz is more like like how was the example of 500 hertz? I just forgot. It's like it was food like food, food like food, and it's in between them both. So we are now trying to see something that is kind of in between these two guys. So we have 315 and 400 hertz. So what can we do about that? That it's inside our scheme.
Association for the sound oo with 250 hertz and o with 500 hertz. 315 hertz is identified by 2 parts oo, 1 part o. Is identified by 1 part oo, 2 parts o. We've already established an association of the sound o with 500 hertz and with 1 kilohertz. 630 hertz is identified by 2 parts o, 1 part
Oh, I have a feeling that guys online are not listening. Why don't you tell me this? Just tell me, guys. If you don't hear something, just interrupt me and say it. Sorry. I just have a feeling that you guys are not listening. There.
Oh, we can.
You can, but through my mic or something. Yeah, now you'll hear better. Yeah. now, now your dream is come true. You will be hearing white noise all the morning. Great.
1 part 800 hertz is identified by 1 part o, 2 parts We've already established an association of the sound with 1 kilohertz and with 2 kilohertz. 1.25 kilohertz is identified by 2 parts 1 part 1.6 kilohertz.
It's super abstract. I understand that it's hard to hear it. I don't know if I really understand that. Like the more you trained, the more it's easy to hear. Like, and I'm gonna show you. And the other thing I'm gonna show you now is I'm gonna open a white noise, and I'm gonna show you how to isolate the white noise on your own, so you can also like hear. I mean, the technical ear trainer just shows you some random stuff, and it's an exercise. But I want to also you to learn how you can isolate that, so you can hear the white noise, as I'm sure you really want to do in Ableton, like for hours.
Hertz is identified by 1 part 2 parts We've already established an association of the sound E with 2 kilohertz and E with 4 kilohertz. 2.5 kilohertz is identified by 2 parts E, 1 part E. .15 kilohertz is identified by 1 part E, 2 parts E.
So I guess I'm gonna kill you of boredom if we watch all of this thing. The trend goes on. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again in the sense that it's always like, if you're in between 250 and 500, you have, if you're closer to 250, you have 2 parts of the first one, 1 part of the second one, and the same goes all the way. Like you see, in here we're like 8K is S, 16K is C, so 10 kilohertz is kind of like 2 parts S, 1 part C, and 12.5 kilohertz is 1 part S, 2 parts C. Sorry for my mistake there. Let me just correct that right now. So I mean, will that really sink in? Yes. I mean, I believe in this, and I hear it, and maybe I hear it a little bit more clearly than you guys because I've been doing this for longer. And what I would like to see if we can identify this together with the Ableton and white noise. Let me see, by the way, I hope that Ableton will open and will not give me that same bullshit that it gave me the other day. I forgot to switch on the VPN when I started. Let's see. We will see. Yeah, it's you see? It just happened to me the other day. And if I switch on the VPN, the connection to the stream and to the guys is gonna fall apart. So, I mean, I'm gonna do what I wanna do now in Pro Tools because it's the only way I can do it. I mean, I can also disconnect the VPN and everything will lose connection, whatever. I think that for the sake of science, it's better to try the VPN because you guys know better Ableton and it would be more useful to you. So, guys online, maybe we will lose the connection and I will have to make a new YouTube stream. We will see. I need to grab here Surfshark and I need to quickly connect to Surfshark. Yeah, the lucky you guys that I discovered this before because I would be suffering right now for an hour trying to fix that. Somebody else paid that price. So let me just a second go to get my passwords, switch off everything. Here, chick, and here, just a minute, guys. Alice, may I ask you please to bring me a glass of water, please, from the... I'm gonna stop presenting my screen, guys, here, just in case. And I'm gonna go to get my password here, which is gonna be here, Surfshark. Okay, Surfshark. What? And I'll connect and we will see what happens. All right. So let's go to Brazil like always. Allow. Okay, so guys, so I'm back here, and now I can open Ableton. Yeah, OBS reconnected. Awesome. Maybe we didn't lose the stream. Let me see it. Yep, great. Good news. So now I can open Ableton. Yeah, if this happens in one of the computers, I don't know, you'll have to figure it out. Like, I mean, in the sense that not all, this computer has Surfshark because I kind of hacked it and installed it here, but not all computers have it, so. Okay, so what I wanted to do quickly is just to, oh, really? But it worked. But it worked once. Ah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I think that you see, it's like trying to connect to this. This is like feed from the internet. And I guess that there's an issue with the servers or whatever. And thank you so much. That I really needed that glass. Thanks. So, how can I generate white noise in Ableton, guys? Anybody can help me? Up in the operator. Okay, got it. Got it. So it's gonna be in instruments, right? In the operator, and I just have to make a full new synth. I get it. And then I just have to change it here, sign to be white noise or pink noise. I guess there is no pink noise.
Sorry, can you share the screen?
Yes, Lala. Thank you. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. And so if I change this to white noise, I guess that. Sorry, Lala. This one. Right here. You mean that is filtered right now? I want to switch it off. Yeah, great. I mean, I'm gonna turn this down because we don't have to suffer. It's better if it's pink noise, but in Pro Tools, like, you can just choose like pink noise or whatever. But we don't have that option here, so that's what we have. Noise what? No, I don't know what is not noise looped. It's a loop of noise. I can hear it, man. Can you hear it? Da, 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 da. Okay, anyways. So what this guy is doing that in order to isolate those frequencies is very trivial and very stupid, nothing special for you. You just have to, in order for you to, do you want to see this? And you're like, okay, is this really like an U and a A and a O and two parts, whatever. Let's just see, how can you get this information by yourself? So you will need to open the operator and open white noise. Just checking that I put the screen back. And you're going to have to open an EQ. So any EQ will work. Let's load EQ8. And then you're going to have to do something like this. Okay, we were trying to understand how 250 sounds. And we want to boost this 12 dB. That's what the program is doing for you. But you want to control it yourself. And the Q is 2. Like you see, like you can see it yourself in the program that we have open here. Like the Q is 2. I have a plus 12 dBs, and so then in order for you to identify a frequency, you will have to do something like this and switch it off. It's number 3. It sounds different because it's not pink noise. There is and I explained this already, but the difference between pink noise and white noise is that pink noise consider Fletcher and Monson, so that's why you hear more the high frequency right now. But anyways, it's useful. Yeah, please. It's like more white noise, right? Like outside. Yeah, please. It was also kind of killing me, the window. So I mean, if I go to 500, like I would like to switch off everything except the one that I have. Yeah, here. If I go to 500, for example, here, let's go here and put 500. So 250. 250 was this food thing. Do you agree with that, letters? Yeah? You can also do this. It's useful. It's now like, this is like super sleepy. Yeah, sleepy time. That's the U as food. Now let's see 500. So that's the, let's go back here. Yeah, that's the you got it, right? Like it's like the like it's kind of like oh kind of like here. Wait. And the food, let's go back to the food one. Ooh. Also has that quality. Ooh. And so what else do we have? We have, I'm gonna see the sub-octaves later to see if we can get this like 2 parts of O, 1 part of A, like if we can really hear it. Then we have 1000, it's like 1000 is like aha. This, you see, let's see 1000. 1000 is like, oh, what? It was like bang on, man. And I was telling you as well, I don't know if you did this, but when I was a kid, I was simulating big crowds, and I was just saying like, you know, when I was playing with my friends, I was like, so it's the big crowds, the 1000. Well, a bit, maybe I was doing a bit higher crowds, but anyways. Okay, so that's the 1000. And then 2000 is like like more like let. Let's see the 2000. 2000. So you see, it's more like I don't. This one for me doesn't make so much sense. This one doesn't make so much sense to me. Like, maybe we can refine this together and find something that is more useful for us. I mean, he's saying let, like, but I just feel let more like let something like. What can we do with 2K to make it more useful to us? Can we do something? Any ideas? I really don't. I'm thinking, but it's maybe like a whistle. You know, it's like the first. It's between ye and e. I have like, yeah, between e and e, something like that. For me, it sounds more like ich, you know, like. But I don't know. What else can we think there that can help us? Maybe, but if you get something in your mind, just say it a bit later when it comes. Like if it comes. Wait, but I'm gonna update this. So we have this thing and ich as in. I was thinking last night. I was working. I was writing on this, and I was thinking something like. I had written something, and then I deleted it. Yeah, it was like, for example, when you say the word beat, like it's like, but it sounds like beat, like Bitcoin. Yay! So it's like beat. By the way, I promised I owe some Bitcoin to some people, to 3 people here actually, from the channel, to you guys, and to I don't forget these things, and to and to Sasha because he guessed this thing of the quasars. Like, so okay, I would see it more like the E in beat, like bit. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is the scheme that he's proposing, but I just don't feel this like. Let's go 1 second back to the moment when he says that to see if we can get it more clearly. Wait. So let me see if we can. By the way, I hope that everything. I'm just writing to Anton right now. Like, are you there? Yo, bro. All okay? You in studio? All good. He is replacing me now in that recording. Oh, LOL can mean that he's not. Perfect sync. Yeah. We wrote to each other at the same time. It's recorded, and it's recorded on YouTube, bro. Because I'm streaming for a lecture. What's the mono near mic, Roger? Yeah, he's now, like I told you, replacing me in the studio, and he's kind of like finding himself there. So, okay, cool. Just was checking. So I wanted to come back here and see the previous presentation, lecture 14, developing of technical ear. Yeah, and see the moment when he said this like 2000 hertz thing. Check. Where is it? The 2000 hertz thing was low end. Yeah, I guess it was here. Let's see if maybe we can get it better.
Identifying frequency bands by ear. By 12 decibels difference instant. Alternative. An ah sound. Let's
Here's
try
1 kilohertz, and let's go to 2 kilohertz again.
Corresponding vowel sound.
He read like a like a lone. I noticed that he changes it across the course. Like he starts like here, and then he moves to another one. Like 1000 was more like this like crowd when you're a kid playing games. Like it's perfect. Like actually, if you played the game, I mean, I guess most likely you never played that game. If you played the game, this is like Nintendo 1. I mean, I'm talking about the first Nintendo. If you played the game Punch Out, like the first Punch Out, Nintendo. No, wait, Nintendo. You will hear like the crowd. I think the crowd was white noise. This was the game, like, yeah. I think the crowd was white noise. Yeah, you see, like, you can hear already there. I think it was white noise, 1000 hertz, like. Like, that's exactly the crowd I'm meaning when I was doing my crowd when I was a kid. That. Yeah, I really played this game when it came out. Like, I really did. I was like, holy shit, like, this is crazy. I mean, not when it came out, but like around 1990, like, for sure. Yeah, you will see. Like, when every time a fight starts, you hear. I guess that's where I learned to. There it is, to identify 1 kilohertz. Right. It's like a sample, like. Yeah, so that's 1 kilohertz for sure. Like this, like punch out. Anton says, "Hello world." So yeah, great. So you got it. I think that one is clear. The 2 kilohertz. The 2 kilohertz. It's more like, I guess I'm gonna put here a note. Huh? Kak? It's more. Yes. It's like in between A and A. E and A and E. Yeah. So I'm writing here something like remember a gas leak. Gas leak, something like that. Like it's a bit like turbine air, like very fast air propelling
Identifying
outwards.
frequency and sound to boost difference out. Before which vowel sound do you?
Go ahead. Okay.
Before
I know this is already after.
and back on. And trying to hear the EQ, you hear the difference again. Trying to.
Well, I got lost there, but we heard it already, and we also can hear it here. This is a 2 kilohertz. So I don't know. Our convention would be. For me, it's more like like this, like not like let he said in one moment. So I'm gonna leave it like this, so we don't lose all day just discussing this or kind of like. And this one, because this one is really more like beat. We will see it like 4K. Let's go to 4K, 4,000 kilohertz. So, well, it's higher. This is more like a whistle. No, how can, well, I guess. What do you mean? Like a cicada. Like a cicada. Okay, for kilohertz, I'm gonna put us here that reference like E like beat. If you isolate that beat, it can sound like this. Like cicada. In Russian, it's cicada, like that. Cicada. I don't know how to write it. Just a moment. Cicada. Oh, do you know what this is? Cicada? Yeah, it's the ultimate cyberpunk thing, man. What has happened with it? I lost track of it. Oh, yeah. It ended already, a long time ago, right? Yeah, it's crazy. This crazy stuff. Yeah, I always wonder. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's called cicada, like this. Yeah, in English. So it's like a cicada. Yeah, this is the animal. Yeah, okay, it's like a cicada. So okay, cool. Cicada, like a cicada. And then let's see, the S sound in 8K is super obvious to me. I think that one is really easy. Like, yeah, it's very easy. And the T in 16K is really easy too, I think. Yeah. Center, like that's really clear for me. Okay, that's great. So now let's try to see if we can really understand this. Like 250, we like that is food and we have it clear. So 250 is here. Okay, and then if we wanna see 315, so this is our U, and this is the next letter, which was U and O, like okay, and then 250, and now let's see 315. So that theoretically it's like it can be seen as 2 parts U, 1 part O. So it's a combination of U, whoa, it's super abstract. I get it. Like I'm not telling you like, yeah, it's so clear. That's 250. So it's a little bit in between those two sounds, 315. Yeah, can help us. This is 250. This is 315. We need a method, so let's just try to conceive this. I mean, I don't feel like I'm delivering you something that is so incredibly powerful, but I don't know any other method. Like I use this and it helped me really, like at least to give me an idea, which is like I mean, because the main point of this method is like you really focus on understanding these purple ones, and then you will be like, okay, for example, I'm gonna try to do it blind to you, so you don't see what am I doing. To those of you online, well, you're cheating, but it's okay. Like imagine, look, like if this is 250, like if this is 250, I'm gonna turn it up a bit so we can hear the white noise more loud. If this is 250, and this is 500, this is gonna be interesting. I'm really not gonna do it so obvious. So what do you think this is? I'm gonna show it again. If this is 250, online guys don't say anything. If this is 250, and this is 500, what is this? It's, it's 450. Like the main point of this is that it's less than 500. Like, and it's more than 250. Like that's how you're gonna learn really. It's like, and if like, okay, if this is 250, let's see if this we can do this. And this is 500. So what is this? That's harder. So I'm gonna start again. If this is 250, and this is 500, what this is? It's 230. I mean, it's really hard what I did. It's really hard. Let me try with this. If this if this is 250 and this is 500, what is this? Look at 250. Look at how 250 was. And then I'm showing you this. So it's lower than 250. It's 200. It's 200. Yeah. And then if this is 2000 and this is 1000, then one is this. Wait. It's 1100. Yeah, it's almost there. 1100. So yeah, the point is like learned. I guess that what really is going to help us, because it's easy to just throw all this system down the toilet because we don't like this like two parts ooh, one part oh. But I mean, for sure, the important part is like, okay, this is 125, and this is 150. And also remember that just like like you can recognize do if you hear like in do in different octaves. I mean, feel the mathematical relationship between 150 and 250. Look. I don't know if you feel it, but for me it sounds like two same notes, but in an octave. It's like an octave, like 5 to 50. Look. And then 500 is an octave of 250. So it's kind of like do, sorry, do, right? Like they're octaves to each other. And that thing that I told you of their octaves to each other, and we have discussed it so many times, but something I realized when I'm putting Sirius to sleep, when I'm putting Sirius to sleep, and it's really interesting, this thing. I'm very like meta-perceptive. I mean, I pay a lot of attention of the feelings that I get from people, like and the electricity I feel. There are some times when I deliver something in a lecture when I feel like the idea just fell on everybody's head and you felt it and it's now a part of you. Like somehow I felt this now. Maybe I'm super in strange drugs and just being crazy here, but I felt this right now about the fact that frequency octaves are like musical octaves. Like I felt that it felt on you, like it just landed like a basketball. You could, and now you know it's like, oh shit, like this is really like this. We discussed it a lot. Am I right or am I wrong? When Sirius is falling asleep, like I realized this. Like last night, it was really hard for him to fall asleep. There is this electricity I feel when he's in the moment of falling, that he's like, like when you have your eyes closed and then you go and you're really asleep. Like I can start feeling it. Like I feel it in my legs. Actually, it's like something in the top of my knee. Like I'm telling you, some weird shit, but it's how it is. Anyways, so great. Okay. Will this thing of the 2 parts U, 2 parts O work? Oh, I don't know. I also struggling to hear it. So let me try another case to see if we can illuminate it, and then I'll continue with what I have to cover. So 630, 2 parts. Let's see 630 and sitting between 500 and let's go here, 500 and 1000. So that's a 500. That's a 1000. And now you see, oh yes, those are octaves. It's like do, do. And that's really important when you mix, guys, because, and again, I have told you this a million times, but now that we are in I feel it territory, you can see this. The problem with the low end is that an octave is very few steps in between. It's like 100 and 200. It's just only 100 hertz. And that's why the low end is always so difficult to mix, because it's very dense informationally wise. It's like, I mean, if I'm gonna jump in between 1000 hertz and 2000 hertz, if I move 1 hertz, I'm moving 1,000th of an octave. But if I am in 100 hertz and I move 1 hertz, I'm moving 10% of the octave. So that's just a very big deal, and it matters a lot. Because it means that the information in the low end, that the low end is very detailed now. It's like very sensitive. Like when you see somebody doing like this, it's like it's like I call this frequency genocide. It's like you're blowing up a whole octave. Like, I mean, and you have no idea. I mean, like sometimes you have to do it, but that's why you will see me when you see my mixes. Like you will see a lot that my cues in the low end are really narrow, because I don't want to destroy everything. Like, I want to see if... No, well, I guess that we can reproduce it right now. Well, anyways, I hope that you got that point. So, okay. That's really, 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 really important, what I just said. And it will define a lot of things that you will do in the future. So, okay. 630. Let's go. We were in 500, 12 decibel boost, and 2 Q. So, 500, 1000. I bet you never thought you were going to come to a lecture to hear a guy just like showing you white noise. That's like next level noise ambient. It's like next level geekiness of us, of all of us. So okay, that's 500, 1000. So let's see. And now I'm going to go to 630. So we have this like punch out crowd, like of this video game I showed you, and 500, and then let's see 630. So he's trying to tell us like that's 2 parts U, 1 part A. I just don't feel it, to be honest with you. Like, two parts. Let me see it. Like he's saying these 2 parts O, and 1 part aha. That I feel it. Sorry, I was wrong. That I feel it. I mean, I do feel a little bit of aha there. And if I go to 500, do I feel a little bit of that aha? No. No, I don't feel that aha. I feel this kind of like, it's the punch out crowd. And then 630, I really feel a bit of there. No? Am I just being placebo there? Yeah. But that's the point. That's the point. It's more than There is a little bit of Now, if I go to 800, we should hear the really clearly. Wait, that was 825. 800. So that's 800, and the other one was 650, right? 650. It was like 630 actually. Yeah. And 800. Abstract. All I hear is like tubes in the electrosawot. That's all I hear, to be honest with you. I don't hear like. I mean, I guess that's the problem with these guys, that they have never been in the Zawot, and they cannot imagine like first floor air conditioning. It's like second floor machine. Anyways, I don't know. Perhaps it would be cool. I guess that nobody is going to do this, but if you can come across with a better system, just propose it. If you sit down and hear this a little bit and you can think of a better system, propose it. The main point that I think is really helpful is like, okay, was this lower or higher than O or A? Okay, cool. So as I told you, today's lecture is a bit shorter, more to the point, because I also want to discuss with you how to do this thing of OBS and how to share your screen and everything. So, okay, great. This is the last comments. Like, we used to describe sounds very subjectively. We use this teeny, boomy, muddy words, and they leave a lot of space for misinterpretation and miscommunication. We want to achieve, remember this, isomorphic mapping. We want to achieve isomorphic mapping. That means, like, for example, if you, just in case, if you imagine a tree and you draw a tree, it's the tree that you draw similar to the tree that you imagined. Like, if it's similar, you have isomorphic mapping. So we want to achieve isomorphic mapping between the ideas and the gear. And also, professionals will not have the same concepts as you do. Maybe my teeny is different than Timofey's teeny or whatever. Like, so instead of sweeping across a frequency, we need to go straight to problems, because this will help us to be faster. When you're mixing, you don't have this chance of, like here, to compare flat versus filtered. So you need to make choices thinking like on the unique situation. So you need to know the frequencies for that. So here is the exercise, and it's already in Google Classroom. So it's like you need to head down to the WebTet thing, and you need to choose, when you go here, you need to choose parametric equalization in the task. Prepare a session that consists of minimum, it can be more. If you want to do 2 hours, great. If you want to do 5 minutes, no. It has to be minimum 40 minutes. Minimum 20 minutes of white noise and 20 minutes of equalization with an audio file. So you can load any of your songs. Actually, one of the things that I was thinking that could be useful, I want to test this right now, is to try it with voice. Just like, I'm going to record myself now, and I'm going to put it in the system to see if it's useful to identify frequencies like this, because we know the human voice really well. Download the free screencast recording software called OBS. OBS is a program. It's really be helpful to all your life, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to put it here, so you can learn how to use the software, because it's really useful. It should be downloaded from obsproject.com. There is another options. Well, this is, yeah, it's obsproject.com. Yeah, great. So OBS is a program. That's the one I use to stream to YouTube. It's a program that is open source software. That it's a program designed to record your screen, make a stream, do a lot of things. It's really useful. So download your version, and then you will use that to record your screen. And so you can also stream this straight to YouTube, because it's coming from the browser, by the way. But I'll take the question in a second there, Grisha, just a moment. But the problem with that is that I think that in order for you to stream to YouTube straight, you have to have some like pre-uploads before. I don't think that you can just stream to YouTube in the first moment you open it, or they give you a limitation of like 10 minutes or something like that. Check it out yourself. I don't know. If it's easier for you to do it without OBS, great. I don't care. Grisha, what did you want to say, bro?
You do know that Mac users can record like with QuickTime Player.
You can record with QuickTime Player. So if you can do it with QuickTime Player, if that's easier for you, so you can go here in QuickTime.
It may be a bit tricky with the audio.
Look, new screen recording. Yeah, and that's what I said at the beginning, Bratan, that it's okay if the video has no audio. Like, all I want is just to see, like, to skip across, like, tick, 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 tick. This person did 40 minutes, and I got the screenshots and everything. But yeah, by the way,
you can definitely do it with a QuickTime Player. Yeah.
It can be done with QuickTime Player. There you go. Like, you see, like, QuickTime has this option, new screen recording. So I'm gonna put it here, so you don't have to do it with OBS. Thanks for that, bro. I didn't know, to be honest. Or use QuickTime or any software of your choice. And record your screen across one or many sessions. So I mean that, like, let's say, oh shit, I could only do 5 minutes today. I can only do 20 minutes today. That's fine. I mean, all I want is that you will have to edit me a little video that sums 40 minutes. Again, you can cheat all that you want. You can make a loop of your video and then that of 3 seconds, and then I will maybe notice, but it's up to you. If you cheat, is your problem. It's not my problem. If I find out, I will put you 0. But if I don't find out, great, you got your grade and you cheated. Good, amazing. So upload to YouTube 1 or 2 if necessary. I mean, if you cannot edit or whatever because of some reason and you just want to send me 10 videos of 4 minutes, I don't care. All I care is that you do the work. And you need to upload me the screenshots of the results. So when you do this thing, like you see, let me do one quickly. I mean, I guess that everybody knows this, but I'm gonna do one quickly here. Fuck, so loud. So this is the screenshot I want. You know, like when you finish, you just have to give me this screenshot. Check. And I don't care about your score. All I care is to see, like, I mean, it's like you did 10 questions or 15 questions. It's not about quality, it's about quantity. All I want to do is to make sure that you practice. If I just tell you practice, you will not do it, really. And it's normal. Everybody would behave the same. And then upload your resource scored with your practice sessions. And that's it. That's what I want you to do. I was in the purpose of, I really feel that, and I'm going to use these minutes just to talk to you about this software. Now, I had that plan and then Grisha destroyed my plans, to be honest, but it's great that he did because it's easier to do it in QuickTime. I recognize that. But I think that knowing about OBS is a super important thing in any person's modern media world. So I'm going to spend some 10 minutes or 5 minutes that we got talking about this for a moment. Like the problem here is that, well, I guess that I'm going to stop the stream, and then if you want to learn how to use this program, you can search. I mean, basically my video is not going to have this tutorial. You can find it somewhere else. But I'm going to stop the streaming so I can actually demonstrate the program, right? So